Hello and welcome to the next video of my LCK Spring 2023 preview series. We're going to cover Liiv SandBox. Excuse me. They are going budget, and I thought the Freaks were going budget, but this is some budget roster stuff here. 2022 they went 17-19. Spring was absolutely awful. Summer they surprised. Prince really carried for them, and that segues into the who is here and who isn't from summer. Prince carries for them. They can't afford Prince. Prince leaves, replaced by Envy, who was the person that they tried to start with in spring with, where they went 4-14. He didn't even get through 9 games. Well, he didn't get to 10 games before getting pulled for ice. So Prince with FlyQuest, a couple other moves in top lane. Birdall joins from Damwon Kia. Birdall was their sub top laner. Dove went back to mid lane with Invictus Gaming in the LPL. And in the jungle, Croco joined DRX, and Willer comes over from HLE. He was their sub in the jungle. So we have 2 subs, closer, an 80 carry that didn't play after spring, and then Kale, who I thought played outstanding at support at 18 years old. Oh, and by the way, the coach is Ryu. Ryu has not been a head coach before. So they have a brand new head coach. Their average age is 19 years old. Birdall in top lane, 19 years old. Had a 3 KDA, 8 CS per minute, 53.7 KP. Mind you, these numbers are from spring in 2022 before Nuguri came in for Damwon Kia. I went over KP. 418 damage per minute, 24.2 damage share, 21 gold share, 11 solo kills in 36 games, 10 champions played. Gwen, Graves, Akali, his 3 most played. He's more of a finesse player, tries to carry in the top lane. We saw him play Yone in playoffs and at Worlds for Damwon Kia. Actually, I don't think he played at Worlds with it, but in playoffs he played with it. So, what are we going to see out of Birdall? Remains to be seen. This entire team is going to be a project, like I went over with the Freaks. These players need to develop. Outside of Envy, Envy's kind of cooked now, but the other 4 players have development to do. Dayak? I'm going to go with Dayak. Is the backup at 18 years old, being promoted from Academy to Challenger. This is another concerning thing. So, Liiv SandBox last year, like I said, I didn't actually go over all this. 17-19 at the top level. Challenger, 31-41. Below average, but close to mediocre. Academy, 1-6-5. The second stage of Academy, they didn't even get into the championship series. So 1-6-5, and what does the team do? They promote multiple players from that Academy team into Challenger. So, Dayak is one of them. 237 KDA, 767 CS per minute, 49.2 KP. So they split pushed to the point where they only got involved in half of fights and didn't win their lane, but are promoted. 498 damage per minute, 21.3 gold share, 11 champions, 18 games. Camille and Nar, their most played. Kitchen is the backup after that. They're going to play in Academy, I guess. They played a handful of games for Liiv in the first championship series. They're 17 years old. In the jungle, there's Willer, and that's the only player they have that has any games to go off of. At 19 years old, and these stats, by the way, are from 2021 when he was with HLE, when they went to Worlds. 19 years old now, 17 years old then, arguably. 3-1 KDA, 5-7 CS per minute, 75-1 KP. 263 damage per minute, 15.3 damage share, 18.9 gold share, 6 champions in 18 games. And you can tell it was from the past because Rumble was his most played, followed by Trundle and Lee Sin. So we need to give Willer a bit of grace. A lot of people want to give him heat for how he played at Worlds and how he lost his job to Arthur and this and that with HLE, but he was a kid. We see players 5 or 6 years older than him, well experienced, doing worse at international events than Willer did at 17 years old, 18 years old. So it's a shame when people condemn him when his career has barely begun. Now, he has no pressure because, like I said, Vincenzo is the backup and they have no game, so not listing them on here. Mid lane, Closer. So Closer did very, very well for SandBox. Underrated. Prince got a lot of the praise. Closer did very well in lane. I think I had him in my top 3 LCK mid laners from summer. Maybe not. I don't really remember exactly. I think he was maybe in the upper half. But at 19 years old, 4.7 KDA, 9 CS per minute, 65 AKP. He's winning the majority of his matchups in the mid lane at the highest level of play. 590 damage per minute, 27.6 damage share, 22.5 gold share, 7 solo kills in 41 games played, 11 champions picked. Azir, Ari, and Silas. I don't think he played anything else more than 3 times otherwise. So definitely a box there. He played meta. I mean, Azir will help you get farm and really deal damage and be effective. So it makes sense his numbers are as high as they are. Behind him, I will say this player earned their call-up. Statistically, in 11 games, Goody played well. At 18 years old, 278 KDA, 895 CS per minute, 73.5 KP. So nearly 3 out of every 4 kills they're involved in, and they're winning the majority of their matchups, at least from what the farm looks like. 680 damage per minute, 22.6 gold share, 6 champions in 11 games. Victor and Azir, his most played. So he earned the call-up, and we'll see how Goody does in Challenger with a team around him that looks pretty sus. The other player from Academy is Hangju. Hangju is 17 years old. Their numbers are sus. 156 KDA, so they die a ton. 814 CS per minute, 52.6 KP, so very low KP as well. I mean, only getting involved in half of the fights as a mid laner is pretty bad. 489 damage per minute, 21.1 gold share, 12 champions, 24 games played. Syndra, Ari, and Renekton being the most played. So if you're playing a lot of Renekton mid, I could see your farm suffering a bit. Bot lane, Envy. So Envy comes in. These stats are from 2021 in Challenger. And really, frankly, they look like numbers that would earn you an opportunity in spring in 2022. He got that opportunity and then lost the job to Ice. SandBox decides, Envy, you're not playing anymore. And he didn't play anymore throughout the rest of the year. And Prince took over in summer. So it boggles my mind why teams do that. But nevertheless, no games played for Envy last year after a few games in spring. So 5.1 KDA, 10.2 CS per minute, 64.1 KP in Challenger in 2021. Those numbers are good. He's winning the majority of his matchups. He's earned the right to move up. 552 damage per minute, 30.4 gold share, 24.8 gold 30.4 damage share, 24.8 gold share. 3 solo kills in 18 games, 9 champions played. Jinx, Kesa, Ezreal. So this guy is going to get an opportunity. There is not a lot of pressure beneath him. So that's the thing with this team. Looking at it, all these players are safe. That's a good thing and a bad thing. I would say that there's no pressure, so this team's not going to get better internally if these players don't pan out. But at the same time, there's no pressure. No one's going to take your job. I'm going to go with Diable. Is 15 years old and is going to play behind Envy. Diable has a 312 KDA, 946 CS per minute, 69 KP. Those numbers are pretty good when you take into account they're 15-year-old. Maybe they take the next step this year and you're looking at a player that's very young and raw coming in 2024. 555 damage per minute, 25 gold share, 6 champions, 18 games. Jinx, Ezreal, Kesa. So 25 gold share, they carry, which is a big deal. Cypher is 16 years old, will play for Academy. No stats to go off of there. At support, we have Cal. At 18 years old, I thought Cal played fabulous alongside Prince. You really have to take that into consideration. They are extremely young, and they did well. And they didn't look out of place at all. 4.6 KDA, 78.3 KP. Nearly 4 out of every 5 kills Cal was involved in for Liiv SandBox, which has a lot to do with Prince because he's the AD carry alongside him. But still, that's a very active support. 274 vision score per minute, 0.36 cleared wards a minute, 11 champions, 41 games. Renata, Tom Kench, Nautilus. So Renata, I think Renata, Tom Kench, Nautilus were 28 of the 41 games. Now, what Liiv SandBox are getting a lot of credit for, just one second. Okay, now for what Liiv SandBox are getting credit for. So they have 3 supports beneath Cal. None of them have any games in Academy or CK to go over off of Leaguepedia. Normally, I wouldn't include them on here, which is what I did for Jungle, but I mentioned Vincenzo by name, so whatever. We have Plan B. They're listed as the starting support for the Liiv SandBox youth team, which is going to be in Challenger. Now, they've got Dangmu. Dangmu is a girl, and they have signed her to play. I hope they do well. I hope that, the fans give her grace and give her an opportunity. At 21 years old, actually, ironically enough, she's the second oldest player on this team from top to bottom, which is completely mind-boggling, right? But hopefully she gets an opportunity and people allow her to make mistakes because, frankly, everybody's going to make mistakes. The problem is, though, that the league community is a toxic cesspool, so it's hard to really get the adults in the room to do what they're supposed to do. You already see her being referenced as, all sorts of things that you really think that, maybe in league lingo, but at the same time, to make it inclusive, you really got to change your tone. You got to change the word stuff you say and things like that. So hopefully Dangmu does well. Behind her is Selna. Selna is going to start for Academy at 19 years old. So Cal is safe. There are no games played between the 3 backups. A very, very young team from top to bottom. You really think about it. I think back to like a team like Golden Guardians that I just did a couple videos ago and recorded. And they're all 22 and older. Like everybody on that team is pretty much outside of Prismal. I think everybody on Golden Guardians and Golden Guardians Academy are older than the oldest player on Liiv SandBox. That's incredible. So comment down below with your opinions. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube member. And thank you for watching.